Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game, Season 2, Episode 34. This is NXT The Game Super NXT. Thanks for watching tonight, folks. This is probably going to be a longer video than most because, boy, do we have a lot of stuff going on, and this is going to be just a fun show. Let's get straight into the action. We have 4 pre-show matches. Alright, and about that featured solid in-ring action, but not the one to defeat the Vaudevillains defeated the Gentleman's Club in 8 minutes when Aiden English defeats Drew Gallagher by pinfall with the Whirly Dervish. During the match with Aiden English and Simon Gotch turn, and this was basically a match just to complete their turns here. They're shocked. That's okay. I don't really care. I needed to get them onto the face side. So it happened. Let's continue with the show. This is just background material. Alright, and about that, it's solid in-ring action, but no heat. Bliss defeats Blue Pants in 8 minutes via pinfall. La Sombra loses to Apollo Crews in 8 minutes via pinfall. And Ricochet defeats Nick Jackson in 8 minutes with a fast roll-up. So, this was the last pre-show match. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the 90-minute, one-night-only Super NXT. We see a parked gold limo and see Kevin Nash and Kevin Owens pushing one another back and forth arguing. Scott Hall is trying to break it up and can be heard audibly saying, "Let's focus on tonight. 2 huge matches tonight. Joe and Bayley, we need to focus. We're a team." Owens can be heard and seen smirking and walking away with Charlotte behind him. The outsiders watch them walk away and the camera focuses on Cass and Carmella before fading out as they're next to the outsiders. Alright, the camera now rolls Corey Graves struggled. Okay, well, Renee Young is good. I guess Corey Graves is not. However, the camera shows Renee Young and Corey Graves welcoming the fans to the NXT show. The first images of Super NXT within the arena have Baron Corbin in the ring with a microphone. "Convenient," says Baron Corbin. "Baron again is overlooked. Baron again is misused. I did what I had to do 2 weeks ago, turning my back on you stupid idiot fans," the fans boo. I wanted what you were trying to do to give me for such a long time. I lost my focus. No longer is Baron Corbin a mark for you idiots, the fans boo. "So Regal, you left me off the card. You left me off the card for the last goddamn time. Get your ass out here, William Regal. I know you're busy tonight, but get out here." The fans boo. William Regal's theme hits. "Baron, unfortunately there's no time. There's not enough time. Every event to get every NXT superstar on the show. You know this. And everyone who needs to be here is here today," the fans boo. Same old Regal. "Why don't you just come down and get into the ring right now? I want to fight, goddammit." The fans cheer at the thought. Regal looks at his attire. "Does it look like I'm ready to fight, Mr. Corbin?" "No, I'm not." Baron just smirks and blows him off, walking around the ring. Baron begins to get out of the ring as Regal makes him stop, though. "But I have a friend who was visiting out of town and was listening to you rant and rave backstage. And, well, he asked about how I'd feel about him getting into the ring." The fans cheer. "I've talked too much, Baron. You want a match? You got a match." All of a sudden, a heart monitor begins to play and flatline. All of a sudden, Super NXT becomes unglued as Taz hits the ramp and immediate holy shit chant breaks out, with Taz walking out in slacks, a t-shirt, and what appears to be a soaked t-shirt draped over his head as the fans are going absolutely apeshit crazy. Taz makes his way to the ring, and as Baron appears to be questioning what this is, he takes down Baron in the middle of the ring and lays into him with trademark Taz heavy fists. A referee has began to sprint down the ramp and called for the bell to ring as we see Regal walking away with his trademark smile. "So guys, I'm giving you Taz. It cost me $75,000 for a one-night appearance from AAA to borrow Taz. I don't know how well this match is going to be. He has good ratings, but he's listed as a retired wrestler, so Taz is going to take on Baron Corbin because you know what? I'm very strict with my storylines, but I said I want to have some fun tonight. And the fans in Missouri at the Show Me Center are being showed something big tonight. Let's see what happens with Taz." And about that featured great action, Baron Corbin defeats Taz in 10 minutes with the end of days. So obviously Corbin goes over Taz here, but Corbin beats Taz in the middle of the ring. After the match, and after catching Taz with the end of days, Baron slides out of the ring somewhat shocked he beat Taz in the middle of the ring out of nowhere. Corbin doesn't taunt like usual. He celebrates for only a moment and falls on his ass as he reaches up the ramp, looking around like, "Oh yeah, that's right, it's Corbin. Corbin did it." He raises his hand, but ever so briefly, as he quickly walks up the ramp and back to a "You still got it" chant for Taz as he's slowly coming to. So like I said, Taz and Corbin, because why not? Tonight's going to be a lot of me reading, but I got a lot of big segments tonight. I'm changing the direction of Season 3 tonight, or Season 2 tonight, excuse me. We get word now that the NXT Heavyweight Championship signing between NXT Heavyweight Champion Mr. NXT and Bo Dallas has been moved from tonight and will take place in 2 weeks on NXT. Basically, I had so much crap going on that this being the second biggest angle I had planned for the show, it's going to be moved for 2 weeks because I just came up with a whole bunch of fun ideas. I don't normally just randomly on the spot come up with ideas. I plan pretty rigorously, but I have so much stuff going on, guys. 2 weeks. All right. The camera pans back now as Gallows is making his way to the ring with a microphone in hand. Shinsuike Nakamura, I said I was going to call your ass out here tonight, and that's exactly what I'm doing, so Nakamura, consider this your damn invitation. Gallows looks at the Titantron and waits, and waits, and waits. Gallows smirks as the fans boo. Doesn't look like he's going to show up, does it? All of a sudden, the lights go out. The camera focuses on Gallows and back up as Shinsuike Nakamura is slowly making his way down onto the entrance ramp. Nakamura takes a few steps forward when out of nowhere the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, have jumped Nakamura from behind, rolling him down the ramp and towards the ring as the fans boo. William Regal can be seen out as the Young Bucks and Gallows, who've completely sprinted to the outside, have began to level Nakamura. Regal, with road agents and referees as well as security, are screaming, but the Balor Club, without their leader Finn, who's suspended, are wrestlers after all, and they're laying to waste everyone and everything in their sight, including Nakamura. William Regal is losing his mind as the 3-on-1 continues onto the non-contracted NXT Shinsuike Nakamura. Then all of a sudden a sound hits, a very familiar sound hits, a very, very familiar sound hits. Corey Graves, that's the Cowboy, James Storm. He's back. He's returned. The last time we saw James Storm, he was being outsmarted by William Regal, who got him banned from NXT for 6 months. But James Storm, my God, James Storm, the former NXT, the first NXT World Heavyweight Champion, is back. James Storm soaks it all in as the fans are now surprisingly cheering loudly for James Storm, who's on the top of the ramp. James Storm looks straight at Legal, who looks furious at Storm interrupting right now. Things could not be getting any worse. Storm swirls whatever he has in his mouth, spits it out, poses, and tosses it to William Regal as he walks down the ramp and begins to roll up his sleeves on the way down before jogging and taking on the Balor Club 1-on-3. They're going nuts and cheering for him here in Missouri. Renee Young, we haven't seen Storm since the Season 1 finale in NXT TakeOver Legacy. James Storm tries to fight off the Balor Club's Doc and Gallows and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, but he just can't quite overcome him by himself. He's completely being killed, but he isn't gaining traction either as Regal has now made his way to Nakamura, who's still barely stirring. The beatdown on Storm has now began. But out of nowhere, Dash and Dawson make their way out of the back and sprint into the fray, helping James Storm and the Balor Club, evening up the odds as it's now 3-on-1. William Regal looks on in amazement as Storm had just came out and possibly saved not only his relationship with Nakamura, but New Japan as well. The Cowboy James Storm as well as Dash and Dawson have evened up the battle, and the Balor Club and Doc Gallows and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, are leaving through the crowd more pissed off than ever. Storm has walked out and grabbed a house microphone. The fans are chanting "Thank you, Storm," as Dash and Dawson walk up and pose next to Storm. James Storm, well, he says, looking at Shinsuke in the crowd, we've all heard of Strong style. He says, laying the worst thing, but me and my boys, Dash and Dawson, we're Southern style. The fans cheer and chant for all three. Storm pauses. NXT, I'm back, says James Storm. The scene ends with the crowd on fire. Okay, complete disaster. I'm sorry, guys. Had to happen. Alright, so we have Shinsuke Nakamura being called out by Doc Gallows. He comes out, but the Young Bucks and Balor Club fast and jump him from behind. William Regal goes crazy. He has no help. James Storm comes out, who hates William Regal, then takes him on 1-on-3 and gets saved by apparently his new stablemates and best friends, Dash and Dawson, and they have formed Strong Style. Or excuse me, Southern Style, playing on the fact that they're all Southern boys. So big segment here that will basically change the course for everyone involved for the rest of the second season. Now we see Tyler Breeze is shown walking down a backstage hallway on the way to the ring with his NXT Light Heavyweight Championship. He defends that title next. And about that featured great action in average heat, Tyler Breeze defeats... I don't understand why this is only a 45. If it great action in average heat, Breeze defeats Jackson in 9 minutes with a spinning wheel kick. During the match, we also had Nick Jackson accidentally hit Matt Jackson. Tyler Breeze makes defense number 1 of his Light Heavyweight Championship. Don't know why this is so low, actually. Either way, Tyler Breeze gets the victory, retains his Light Heavyweight Championship here, which of course he was going to do in his first title defense. And as we showed last week, Matt Jackson won the drawing over his brother Nick Jackson to be in this match, so that is what this is. Alright, next match. Next segment. We quickly see the NXT Tag Team Champions, American Alpha, backstage with our NXT Tag Team Championships, getting ready to defend them coming up soon against the NXT #1 contenders to the NXT Tag Team Championships, The Kingdom and Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. The camera just focuses and quickly with a cutscene to the backstage area where the Kingdom and Rhea are getting ready as well. That match is coming up tonight still. Sasha Banks walks down the ramp and to the commentary table as she will be in commentary for this match. Bayley versus Charlotte for the NXT Womans Championship #1 contendership. Let's see what happens. And about that featured great action and average heat, Charlotte defeats Bayley in 10 minutes by a figure 8. During the match, we had Asuka run in and attack Bayley. During the match, we also had Asuka turn on Bayley. And Asuka has been waiting to turn for a while. Turn. We now see Taz walking backstage as he turns and runs into Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe looks Taz up and down and smiles. Samoa Joe. I've always enjoyed your submission game, Joe says to Taz. Taz looks up smirking at Joe. And I've always enjoyed all of your suplexes, says Taz to Samoa Joe. The two smirk at one another. Taz, good luck tonight against Owens. You're gonna need it. Taz walks away as slowly Joe looks back. Thanks, says Joe, knowing that he's not wrong. The scene fades on Samoa Joe smirking at the interaction with Taz. And about that featured great action in average heat, American Alpha defeated the Kingdom in 10 minutes when Chad Gable defeats Mike Bennett by a pinfall after using a foreign object. During the match, we also had Maria distract Chad Gable and also distract Jason Jordan, but it doesn't matter. American Alpha makes defense #3 of their NXT Tag Team Championships, and American Alpha retains. After the match, though, the Kingdom is so pissed off that they lost, Maria starts barking orders at Taven and Bennett to get back and to work on American Alpha, which they agree to do. The fans boo as the Kingdom begins an all-out assault on American Alpha, having him just won the match. All of a sudden, though, out of nowhere, making their NXT debut, the American Wolves. Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards run out the Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, helping American Alpha. The fans cheer loudly as the duo has just helped out American Alpha, the fan favorites here in NXT. Dave and Eddie, though, look at one another, then turn around and jump American Alpha, sending them down to the mat and laying it fast and hard as the NXT Tag Team Champions are being knocked out cold. As the beatdown continues and eventually stops with the American Wolves getting more heat on one can be anticipated, the camera shot shows the Kingdom confused as to what just happened, and it shows one last shot of the American Wolves before focusing on American Alpha, who's down and out. The American Wolves drape their Tag Team Championships over American Alpha and walk away. We fade out. After American Alpha folks defeated the Kingdom, as I just pointed out, tried to attack American Alpha after the match, to which Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards actually helped out American Alpha, but only to turn on them as soon as that happened to get their lickings in, making it known that they want the title shot as well at American Alpha. Enzo Amore smirks as the camera flips on. So per Mr. Regal, the first blood match between Big Cass and myself not only will be the last match between the twos of us, but with Money in the Bank briefcase being gone, we'll be having a Money in the Bank match in NXT Takeover 100. Fans cheer. 5 spots will fill up, and that last spot, Big Cass, goes to you or me, the fans cheer. Our match will open the show, and the winner will advance to the Money in the Bank match later in the night, per Regal. Think of it as a little bonus. Like I didn't have enough motivation to kick your ass already. The chant for Enzo. Cass, first I'm going to make you bleed. Then I'm going to climb that ladder and get my shot at the NXT Heavyweight Championship. Bank on it, Cass, because you soft. And I'm going to prove to the entire world who the real leader was. The scene ends with Enzo dropping huge details. So, Enzo Amore announces that we're going to have a Money in the Bank match at NXT TakeOver 100, our 100th show here on NXT The Game. And the opening match of NXT 100 will feature Enzo and Cass in that first blood match, with the winner being entered, if they can walk, into the Money in the Bank match later in the evening. Now, and about that featured great action and average heat, Samoa Joe defeats Kevin Owens in a no DQ match by 15 minutes via submission with the Cochina Clutch after botched interference by Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash now looks at the ring with his hand over his head after accidentally costing Kevin Owens the match. Owens couldn't do anything but tap out. Scott Hall runs down to the ring now as Kevin Owens, who's coming to, is being talked to by Charlotte, and Kevin Nash approaches him. Kevin Owens gets up and shoves Hall with Nash right there. Hall and Nash approach Owens together and try to calm him down, but Owens is going crazy after suffering his first ever submission here in NXT. Owens is running his hands through his hair, can't believe what just happened. The camera pans around and catches Charlotte behind Hall and Nash. She drops to her knees and, much like her father, delivers a pair of low blows to the outsiders Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Owens just looks at her and laughs maniacally and smiles. Owens picks up Nash and tosses him against the corner and begins to lay into him hard. Owens picks up Nash now and kicks him in his face a few times before dumping him out over the top of the ropes and onto his head outside the ring. The fans boo. Owens now grabs onto Scott Hall and begins screaming at him. You told me to join. You said you had my best interest in mind, damn it. Owens is off the deep end now as he pulls Scott Hall to his feet. Charlotte walks up and slaps Scott Hall, then kicks him in the balls again as the fans start to really boo the duo of Kevin Owens and Charlotte. Owens grabs Hall and picks him up to powerbomb him and does so, tossing him outside of the ring onto his back, landing to the side and on a bit of Kevin Nash. The fans are really letting them have it now, sending more and more boos at Kevin Owens and Charlotte. Kevin Owens and Charlotte now look at one another and begin to make out in the middle of the ring, which generates even more heat. We see Big Cass and Carmella jogging out confused from the back towards the ring. Big Cass and Carmella reasoning round as Carmella slides into the ring and looks at Owens and Charlotte and smiles. The two are reluctant for a moment until they see Big Cass looking into the ring and motioning for Kevin Owens to come out and help him. The fans boo as Big Cass grabs some chairs and tosses some to Kevin Owens as he slides out of the ring. The two, without hesitation, begin an absolute assault on the outsiders Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Tons and tons and tons and tons of referees, security members, and road agents run out, trying to stop and calm whatever is left of NWO Gold. Charlotte with Carmella have both slid out of the ring, and Carmella begins to kick Big Ass all hot and heavy. Carmella walks up to Owens now, playfully looks up deep into his beautiful eyes, and begins to make out super duper duper heavy with Owens as the fans boo Charlotte and Kevin Owens. The couple stop at the same time and look at one another as Carmella grabs Charlotte's hands, who's smiling like a schoolgirl. The four begin to slowly walk away, and we fade out of Super NXT, with the entire pendulum being switched tonight. The show increased our popularity in 19 regions. This was an absolutely fantastic show. Super NXT was absolutely a blast to book. We had lots of stuff that I don't normally do. I said fuck it and just did it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to get back on, the next NXT tonight because I'm feeling it. I'm amped. Super NXT, absolutely fantastic. Thanks for watching NXT The Game, Season 2, Episode 35, Super NXT.